Well, hello, everybody. We are back. It's been a while since we've been on. We've had few things in life going on that we had to pay a lot of attention to, but we are back to touch base with y'all and see what's going on with everybody. I got Jara with me and Enzo, of course.
Hello.
Because I'd be nothing without my friends.
Hi. How are you, Enzo? I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you. This is, I don't wear this one that often. I'm actually not that fond of it, but it's like, well, this one's next in the rotation. So we'll.
Why aren't you that
I don't know. It always, it's a little too blue. It ends up blending weirdly in the background sometimes. And it just looks, I'm not a big fan of it, but.
I like the lilies. They're lilies, right?
Yes.
Those look like. Yeah, I guess so.
I like lilies. That's my favorite flower. My kids actually got me lilies for my birthday.
I love lilies. Actually, Suzanne means lily in like some kind of, what is it? Some language.
Some language?
Yeah, it does. It does. Just take my word for it.
I believe you.
I just say shit sometimes. Sometimes I make shit up.
No, most of the time she gets it from somewhere. It's pretty accurate.
So how are you? What was the highlight of your week? Exactly. It's exactly what I do.
Yeah. Channel it from the universe.
Yeah.
But I haven't really had a highlight. I'm actually a little scruffy. I've just kind of been loafing around this week. All my exciting stuff comes up next week, I guess. I'll be going on my first
cool.
ghost hunting adventure thing.
Sweet.
I have some friends that are paranormal investigators, and we're going to the McIntyre Mansion in Atchison, Kansas. About a 3-hour drive.
The McIntyre Mansion?
And what's the history on that mansion?
Yeah.
Actually, I can pull it up. It's famous. It's one of those famous haunted type sites, and it's relatively nearby. And my friends have investigated there before and gotten quite a bit of activity. So they're going up. There's a group of about 9 or 10 of us that are going. I'm the newbie, so that means I get to carry all the equipment, I guess. So we'll I'll take a few of my gadgets and we'll see if we captured it.
That's neat. Do you have to get special permission for something like that, or do you just go?
Yes. No, it's by reservation because it's an overnight thing. You actually spend the night there at the place.
Cool.
And I guess it's normally the people that I'm going with know the people there, and they actually had offered us our group a thing back. It ended up it was like Black Friday when they originally scheduled it, and they just didn't realize it because they had scheduled it so far in advance because there's like a lot of people that like to get in there and investigate. And it was such short notice and all that stuff, and just things just kind of fell apart for a lot of people, including the people that run the McIntyre Villa. And so they're like, tell you what, let's just scrap it, and we'll have you come back at some later time, and we can squeeze you in for like half the price because you do have to pay to go spend the night there.
Oh man, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be hella cool.
Yeah, you get to sleep in a mansion. That's cool just in itself.
A haunted mansion at that.
I've never been in a mansion.
I have some pictures here if you want to see.
Yeah. Let's check it out. Oh, see,
there's
I like those kind of
1889 McIntyre Villa.
Ooh, cool.
And for whatever reason, they have skeletons riding bicycles and a skeleton horse out front by the carriage. But
oh man, I wish I could go with you, Enzo.
The inside of the place is immaculate, just as it was back in the 1880s. It's a historical site. They do a lot of upkeep and stuff on it. But as far as paranormal stuff, a lot of there's been a report of a couple of tinkles on the keyboard there on the piano. A lot of rocking chairs rocking on their own. There's an attic area that a lot of footsteps are heard from when you're in the attic. Of course, nothing happens, but when you're on the floor right below that, the second floor, you can hear someone walking around up there. Well,
That's neat.
Oh, that hallway has something. And then I saw something up on the very top of the page.
Oh, that's creepy. Why did they do that in that one picture?
Which
Did
one?
you see that?
What is it?
There's like a little doll or something down. Like
yeah, that we'll get back to that. Where did you see the?
Well, that hallway right there. Well, oops, go back. That
This
hallway
one
right
here?
there. I feel something from that picture.
There's a little.
This one, over here to the right of the page.
Oh, this one right here.
Yes, this hallway. Yes, that there's something there, and then at the very top of the page, there's something room.
Oh wait, yeah, up, go up on the upper right. Yeah, that dark room right there.
Is there more? Can you go more? That one.
Oh.
There.
Oh, you see something in there?
Yeah, that room. There's something in that room. So you'll have to tell me the history about that room because there's something went on there. For sure.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I'm not that well versed on it as far as who lived there, who died, and all that. But
1889 is an interesting time period.
So there's something behind that door that's a cracked open right there. There's something behind that door right there.
What city is this in, Enzo?
Atchison, Kansas. It's up in the northeast part of the state, towards Kansas City area.
Oh, okay. Kansas City?
I'm going to Kansas City.
1889. That's when the house was built?
I don't know. They just refer to it as the 1889 McIntyre Villa. Other than that, I don't really know. I kind of purposely didn't want to know a lot of the stuff.
I see.
Because that way I'm kind of going in kind of fresh, so I don't know any names. I don't know any this
Something
person
happened.
died in the basement or whatever. So I won't know any of that. So if I encounter something and get a chance to like record it, or even if I just feel it, I don't get a chance to record anything, I can correlate that later. Because if I go in with the thought in my head that, Amy died here and this person was killed there and all of that stuff, that's already going to be like fed into my brain. So that when I show up there, I'm going to be presupposing a lot of it.
You're really good at stuff, Enzo.
That's a true statement.
It was true.
I
wasn't wrong.
The way
I just said it weird.
I know. I told Susie, I think I told Susie once, I was like, Enzo would make somebody a really good husband.
Oh, I know. We talked for a long time, like a whole hour, about what a great catch you are, Enzo.
Do you see anything strange in these two center pictures here with all the mirrors? It looks like it's a bathroom. You can see a toilet and a sink and all that.
Yeah, I do actually. Not in the top one. In this middle one down here that's showing like the mirror and like the sink. Yeah, right there. There's something happened there. There's actually something happened there. I think something may have happened right there in that picture. Like something may have happened. I feel like something happened there.
Okay. Because I
think someone died right there. I think so.
Was there a baby in the first Raggedy Ann doll picture? Because I don't remember there being. Oh, that one's creepy. What is wrong with that doll? Is that a doll?
These here? Well, there's two dolls here and little.
Oh, yeah, that is right there.
Oh, yeah, those dolls over there are creepy too. But that middle thing, what's that creepy Raggedy Ann looking thing in the middle picture? Is that just a drawing on a blanket or something?
I don't know. I don't. I think it's like a different style of Raggedy Ann doll on top of whatever this pink thing is.
Oh, is it like a Raggedy Ann doll with X's over her eyes and a knife sticking out of her chest?
Holy shit! Is that a knife sticking out of her chest? Yeah. They are not playing around over there. I'm going to Kansas City.
That house is in really good condition though. I'd live
Oh
there.
yeah, it's
Okay.
immaculate. But supposedly there's like a back room kind of garage type area that if we want, we can like bring cots or whatever. That's kind of like where we're stage all of our crap out of and then go into the house to set things up and all that jazz. So they're used to getting a lot of traffic there.
That's cool. Well, that'll be exciting. So are you going to be filming stuff or do you know what you're going to, or are you just going to carry some equipment?
Oh no, I'll certainly be filming some stuff. I've got various ways of doing that. I've got an action, like a 4K action cam that's good in low light conditions. I've got a couple different things for my cell phone that I can use. I've got another like low light actual camcorder that I can set up on a tripod somewhere to watch over a certain area range. And of course, all the ghost gadgets, all your EMF detectors and all that kind of things. So, which
cool.
it cross pollinates over to UFOs. So I already had some of that gear.
Right. Like what kind of stuff? Like you mean you have equipment that you would use for UFO stuff that you also use for ghost hunting?
Yeah, the EMF detector is the big one. That's where it detects electricity and it detects electromagnetic fields, which is usually electricity. Right.
But we're electromagnetic fields too, though.
Right, and supposedly the way it's supposed to work is, as far as ghosts go, is they are made up of electromagnetic fields, like most living things, and supposedly though and you see them on the ghost shows all the time where they start spiking. They get more than above average background type readings if there's creepy activity around. I have a FLIR thermal thing that fits on my phone that I can use, so I can like look for cold spots and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
I got a few gadgets. It'll be a field. I have a. I guess like
the EMF thing. Like, does it get affected by other electronics? Because is that the thing that like they say that Wi-Fi puts out and all that?
Right. Yeah. It'll detect any kind of active electronics in the house. It'll tell you. I mean, like if I were to put it against like my wall here and there's an electrical wire running back to like a light switch or an outlet or something like that, it'll pick up that electricity that's running through that wire.
Oh, really? That's cool. You could use that for
but then won't it like be going off all the time with the equipment?
Yeah, but I think if there's fluctuations, right? Like if it goes up,
right?
Like,
I guess how you do it for like if you're going to do like a haunted investigation and that's one of your tools is you need to go in like well before everybody else, well before it gets dark and all that, and walk the house and see what is okay. This is a hot spot, and you look around. It's like, oh, there's a lamp right there, so it's the electricity that's running into that lamp. So I know I'm going to get a high reading, but in this area, and then there's other parts of the house that won't have anything because it was, built in the 1800s. So, there's not as much electronics. There's not as much. And you also have to make sure you're not interfering with other people's gear as well. Like if somebody has like a walkie-talkie kind of a thing to talk to people, every time they key it, you're going to see a spike on it, depending on the range, of course. But so it's not foolproof by any mean, but it's certainly one of those things. If you're sitting there and you've got a 0 and suddenly it starts rising for no reason and nobody's been moving around you or nobody's like texting on their cell phone nearby or something like that. Okay, why did it go up? What's causing this? Hi, Bat Mom.
Yeah, I wonder, it'd be interesting to see like how people have a different, like to measure like an individual's EMF field, like compared to another person. That'd be cool. Like somebody walked into a room and like made it go off or something. Like
that's cool.
Like,
that is true.
That do that.
There is some sort of monitor they can measure the electromagnetic energy that comes out of your heart. So that's where it comes out of, I
Like
guess.
one time there was I don't know, it's weird. I kept setting off those like the magnetic things that say that you're stealing something or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And
I did that the other
walk through
day.
them at
Yeah.
the store at the mall. It was so weird, and I didn't have anything. I was like, what the heck? It was weird. And then I think I had a rock I might have had a rock in my pocket. Actually, I think I had a rock in my pocket.
Maybe that's what set it off.
Maybe it was the rock, but I don't know. It was weird. I was like, okay, is this me? Is there
know about those rocks?
I know.
Yeah.
Rocks in her pocket.
I know. I need to go back at digging at rocks. When it cools down.
I was thinking about you too. A few weeks ago, I went and spoke up in Geneseo, Kansas on Kansas UFO Day. And they had a lot of people set up little like tables, I guess, to sell stuff and things like that off to the side. And there was one person that had a whole crap load of minerals and all, stones and gems and all that stuff. And I was chatting with her a little bit, and she was wearing kind of like a windbreaker because it was the wind was kind of high and chilly, or early in the morning when we first started setting up. And I gave her a hand setting up her tent thing. Then she takes her little windbreaker off, and she had this opal with a copper like winding around it to hold it in place. But this opal was like the size of a shot glass. It was huge.
Oh, that's cool.
And when she took her jacket off, the sun was like coming in at a low angle because it was kind of early in the morning, and it just exploded with all the different colors and lights of it. It's like, how pretty. Wow, that's an amazing piece you have there.
Yeah. What did she say? Did she tell you anything about it?
No, she actually kind of blushed a little bit and just said thanks. She was surprised I noticed it.
Opal is pretty. I have found an opal ring that was my mom's. That's all like old, but it looks kind of like it's like opal, but it looks like there's like tinfoil in it or something. It's strange looking.
They do. Some of them do kind of look like
the old ones.
Yeah.
It looks
like it has a reflective ribbon in it
inside of them.
Yeah. Opals are super pretty. I stumbled upon something called the Colburn Bible, and I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but it's pretty interesting so far. But it talks about how all this stuff is inside the earth and like waiting for us to like go find it. So I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. There's all stuff in the earth just waiting for us to find it. Yep. So I'm gonna start.
So that staircase is kind of something.
I kind of thought that too. It's strange.
I feel like a man is standing on that.
I feel like it's like I don't feel like it's anything. It feels like a benevolent like family type deal though. Like there's not any scary like ghosts.
No, someone definitely died in there.
Well, no, I know, but I don't know that it was like. It doesn't feel like it's scary.
I don't know. I haven't seen something happen.
I haven't heard of anything super scary. Mostly kind of like the occasional like whispering voice, rocking chairs moving on their own, other things getting like moved around, things like that. No,
like on the third step down, I feel like there's a man in a dark suit there.
Oh,
that's so you can match those up with anything that they tell you. See if that comes out anything.
I don't know why, but I always look like at stuff like this in old buildings. I always look at like the mirror placement because you'll notice there's a mirror right here on the left.
Right.
And the same thing for like that little bathroom. There was like 5 mirrors all right next to each other, wherever the hell that was. There's a lot of pictures on.
So mirrors are portals, and you shouldn't ever put 2 mirrors reflecting each other.
But what you kind of do have here, because you've got the mirror over the sink, and then there's like a big bureau here that has 2 mirrors on it.
Yeah,
I thought there was
there's
another mirror
that's a
there.
Right there.
There's I think just about everything you pointed out has mirrors. There's another mirror at the end of this hallway. Another mirror
You guys
here.
ever looked at yourselves in one of those blue mirrors?
No, I'm not gonna either.
I want to do that. I want to see. You don't want to see what the world sees you? How
No, I want to see myself how I think I look.
But anyways, that's a McIntyre or the McIntyre Villa. So
That is beautiful. I believe. I don't think any of my past lives were in a good house like that. Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. According to the Colburn Bible, we're not here for fun. We're here to learn. It's time to get to work, Susie.
So I've been doing the work.
I find these,
So I just wanted to look up the opal.
Yeah.
You know what? What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say that those pointy things on the building? So okay, I know a little bit of something about those pointy things that are on those Victorian buildings.
I was kind of curious about these round windows sticking out of the roof line here and here versus all your conventional square rectangle type windows everywhere else. What's up with that? Kind of weird.
Are those chimneys? Those three,
yes. Yeah, those are chimneys for the old fireplaces all around.
That's interesting.
So those pointy things on those buildings from back in the day, they served as conductors and they brought electricity into the house from the ethers.
Yep, that's about correct. And
I have heard of that.
That time period. Yep.
It does have the big pointy, whatever you were calling those, on the roof there.
Yep, sure does. Oh.
But anyways,
so a lot of those houses have a lot of those old houses have secret rooms in them where they would hide like the bad kid.
Also where they did bootlegging and probably other stuff. Bootlegging like they did in Jerome with the ladies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Matt, my husband Matt is doing redoing a hotel in Williams, and we were going to the shops down in there. We stayed with him for a week at that, one of the hotels there. And one of the shops we went into, I was like, this place I got to get out of here. This is creeped out and there's something crazy happened here. So later we found out that underground, there was some sort of explosion.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't look it up. I wanted to look it up. Williams explosion underground killed a bunch of people. And so a whole bunch of people died down there.
Really? Like how long ago?
1800s. Like.
Really?
Yeah, we should look it up and see what it says.
Huh. I'm doing that right now.
Do it, Jara. Do it. She's on it.
On it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's not it.
So I got one of those things, Enzo, and it made me throw up.
What one of those things? Oh yeah. Is that nicotine?
Oh, a vape pen?
Oh, okay.
It tastes like ice cream.
You may have
but I'm
too high
because
yeah. Did you get a headache and all that stuff too?
I just like instantly barf. I just like.
Oh wow!
It means the nicotine level in your juice is too high. Is what that is.
Okay. I didn't put it in there.
You know how that documentary that I watched I don't know if you ever watched it, but it's called Old World Order, whatever. How it's talking about how
we watched
like major cities. Yeah, that we were watching. Yeah, it's talking about how all major cities had major fires or whatever. Well, Williams, I guess, did too. And then the fire of 1901 destroyed 36 business buildings. I didn't know there was that many business buildings in Williams.
I know, it's so little. Yeah, right.
That's weird. What? That's like a small town.
It's so small. That would have been the whole town.
I know.
That's
so weird.
It looks
That
about 36 buildings.
36 business buildings, 2 homes, and 10 hotels in less than an hour.
Dang, they must have all but because they were all made out of wood. Number
Directed
one,
energy weapons, y'all.
No, and then number two, it probably they didn't have a way to put it out with the no fire engine.
You can't burn stone. It takes a certain temperature to make stone burn.
They were probably all made out of wood back then.
I bet you they weren't.
When was it? When did this fire happen?
1901. I bet you they were stone because I bet you that was when everything was burned. That's the same time that everything else burned down too in the early 1900s. Weird.
What if it was hit by a swarm of meteorites? Because that was
maybe.
A theory, that was a theory I heard about the Great Chicago Fire. That much like they kind of alluded to in that video, the big
right.
Chicago Fire. There were a bunch of other smaller towns outside of Chicago, actually fairly distant from Chicago, that also had a lot of fires pop up at the same time.
Right.
So one of the ideas is a meteor shower hit, and a lot of basically flaming, hot rocks from space came burning in and caught a bunch of stuff on fire like that.
I think that is very likely, actually, that happened, because I think that and that's at the same time frame too. That's 138, almost, from 2040. That's like when, I think that could very likely have happened. Very likely. That's crazy. That would make a lot more sense than a cow knocking over a lantern or whatever, and then
that never did really sit right.
Yeah. An earthquake caused the lantern to fall, like just all the different ways they say that happened. And how would a fire even spread that fast?
I mean, I believe it because it's all wooden. It's all forest.
It wasn't, but what if it wasn't wooden and it wasn't?
Well, it probably was wooden because it was on the hill and it's right by the sawmills.
I bet it was stone. I bet you they were stone buildings that burned. Why did it have 36 business buildings? And 10 hotels. Why would you have 10 hotels in Williams in 1901?
It was a popular. It was actually like the Phoenix of it's kind of like the spot.
Huh.
It was.
That's weird how it just became not the spot. Like bad.
Not really weird.
I mean, no offense, Williams. You're awesome, but it's just not a very large. It's strange that everybody,
Like Gillette, you don't hear about Gillette anymore. Gillette was like the Phoenix, how Phoenix is now. It was the stagecoach robbery camp.
Where is that? I don't even know where that is.
It's Table Mesa Road. There's a ghost town on Table Mesa Road. Oh. I used to ride my bike out there and play hide and go seek.
That's crazy. There's a lot of things we don't know. We should go check out.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I mentioned the media
all of this shit, all of this crazy stuff.
Gillette the shaver.
Yeah, there's gonna be one, isn't there? Soon, isn't there?
Actually, there's like 2 small ones that are going on. There's 2 small ones going on right now, and then the bigger one, the Perseids meteor shower, is like the second week of August. So if you go outside, look at the sky at night, you're for the next few weeks, you're likely to see a few meteors while you're watching.
And you might see a volcano also, and anything else, because right now everything is weird, and who knows what's going to happen, because stuff's just weird. Like, I don't know, somebody could walk out of a portal and be like, I'm going to run for president, and I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, just even the regular, in quotes, news has been so wacky the last few weeks that to say
I know,
that,
people are. Is Kamala stepped? She said that she stepped down.
Yeah, I heard that Kamala stepped down today. Was that true?
Oh, I don't know about that. I haven't really been paying that much attention to the news.
I want to look. I never looked. I just found out right before the show.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff's weird. And then I was with her too, and President Trump. They were like, she was all, President Trump was shot. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Yeah, stuff's weird. Stuff's very.
And we're going through a electromagnetic storm from the sun right now. Just so you know, super low level.
Mm-hmm. And it's helping us, you guys.
I'm actually looking at. I follow a bunch of weird sites that follow that kind of stuff on Twitter, and people are sending in pictures of the northern lights in Illinois.
Oh, really?
So
How big is a magnetic storm? Like,
It's pretty
did
low.
they say?
They rate them from like a G1 to a G5. Like a G5 is
Okay.
what we had a few months ago, where everybody was seeing the aurora like on most of the planet. This isn't. This is barely a G1. I don't even know if it technically is a G1, but it's close to it.
I think that also we could also be seeing that too, like more auroras at a lower latitude or whatever, because of the magnetic field of the Earth is weakening. So it's
That's
not
true.
just that the sun is getting hotter and spewing stuff; it's that our shield isn't as strong as it usually is right now. Because
That's
usually, well, it's before it flips, it weakens.
actually
So
the.
yeah,
If you remember the big aurora that we had a few months ago, that storm wasn't really that strong,
right,
compared to
right.
others that we've had. But it put on such a show because our magnetic field is much weaker than it has been the last few years. And basically, it's the precursor indications that we're going to have a magnetic flip.
Mhm.
Sorry, I have to take this.
So there was a one of the geysers at Yellowstone Park. I know that they always go off, but one of them actually like exploded or something. So
Way more
that
powerful than what's supposed to be.
right, volcanic activity, which is always at Yellowstone Park because of Old Faithful, is always going there. So that is always volcanic. But that's kind of freaky because of the super volcano there. Is that makes it a little
I don't think we're going to see the super volcano blow anytime soon, because all of those geysers would be venting off if that was the case. If we were really close to that popping off, and if it does, we're all in deep trouble.
right. Well, let's see. Well, yeah, we'll all be under ash, and anybody in the like any of the yeah, pretty much. I know I saw one map one time that shows how far it would go, and it'd be pretty bad.
Was it me? I feel like we talked about it not that long ago.
Maybe. I think Phoenix, Arizona would be under would make it would survive. Maybe not though. Survive because we're barely surviving now, and no volcano even went off. I think something's going to happen where I live that it's going to get way too hot and people aren't going to be able to live here. Could that ever happen?
Could it get too hot? Oh, sure. That's
Yeah, could
always
it get too
possible.
hot where we can't even live here?
Because I mean, it wasn't. I mean, back like in the days, several hundred years ago, it was a little more temperate there. It wasn't as hot as it is now. Basically,
Right.
the Earth has been on a warming trend for the last 12,000 years since the end of the last ice age. It's gonna just go up and up and up. Uh, it doesn't necessarily mean to blame every SUV you see, but because it's still going to go up. Our own addition to the atmosphere, for all the climate change folks is okay. We may have hit a high 50 years ahead of time that it would have been
Hmm.
and that's probably giving it a lot. But it's something that we're going to have to learn how to deal with, and uh, limit, saying no more cars across the whole planet. It's not going to be
That's not
very
going to happen.
helpful. It's still going to get
No,
hot.
it
It
won't.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the cars and all that stuff. I mean, it certainly doesn't help. Don't get me wrong, but it's you're just avoiding the inevitable, and you're going to be doing it without electricity at that point, unless you go full nuclear, which has its own
Um,
concerns.
right. Yeah, so that could happen too. Okay. Oh, Jared, what's the highlight of your week? What's been going on with you, dude?
Well,
Besides the
really
low
had
light.
any highlights.
I know, yeah, she had a very big low light,
Yeah.
but besides that, I don't know.
I lost my mama. Um, I had to say goodbye. Well, not goodbye. My mom passed away So we had her memorial last Saturday, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and I didn't think that it was possible to feel that sad about something. So yeah, I didn't feel like talking much for a little while there, so I apologize that we missed so many shows. But my mom, it's a very strange because I'm so close with my mom. I talk to her all the time, and when she's not there, I keep going to call her. So like when I was planning her memorial and stuff, I would run like usually I'd call her to tell her about how things are going or whatever, and so that's really hard. And it was really, really hard to see. It makes you understand that, well, I think we're all so incredibly special, and we're all so important, and we're all special for so many reasons, and we're special to different people. And my mom was my mom, but she was also my dad's wife, and she was my brother's mom, and she was a sister and a friend, and all these things to all these people. And just one person can touch somebody's life and so many lives in so many ways that it's just, when something happens, it's just hard for everybody, and it's beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time.
You did so wonderful though at the thing. The way you spoke, it was beautiful.
I'm very proud of my dad and my brother and I. I feel like my mom would be proud of us, the way that we've helped been there for each other and for everybody. And the day of her memorial, I was like super strong because I felt happy. I felt like I was feeling my mom's emotions, not mine, because I feel like she was happy to see everybody, because everybody like came, and we saw people that we hadn't seen in a long time, and I could feel her joy. So I think that made it easier for me, because I don't know how I was that strong. I was kind of waiting to I don't know. I was like, am I something gonna happen and I'm just gonna lose it or something?
Yeah.
Which I still do. I cry all the time. There's little tiny things that remind me of something, and then I will remember. But I'm so lucky because I always cherished my mom. I did. I absolutely cherished her. I cherished her, even if I was mad at her or if she was upset with me. But we didn't. I just loved her, and I grew up with her being ill, and so to me, every day that she was alive, I was happy that she was alive, and I was honored to be able to care for her. It was like my honor, and I am so glad that I got to spend that amount of time with her, because I know she knows how much I loved her, and I know how much she loved me. I feel like the person who loved me the very most in the whole world passed away.
Oh man, but I love you. Now
that's hard.
But then that's me, because I'm the next in line, so I'm still here.
We love you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I know, and that's the thing too, is like my friends. I have no words to express my gratitude for my friends. There's no way that I would get through stuff without my friends. There's no way. And that's something that's so incredibly important, that people need to understand the value of other people and their friends.
It is important. We need to get back to that. We need to value people.
Yeah.
In our lives.
And when you have people there for you, don't forget to just tell them that you appreciate it. Because, man, my friends are the coolest friends ever, guys.
We are.
You are pretty amazing.
I have some very, very, very good friends, and make it not so scary, because I'm not going to lie. Like this right now, I'm scared. I'm terrified. This world is scary as fuck. And, people pass away, and it happens, and the world isn't set up in a way where the world wants to help us with that. They just want to take our money and transfer our wealth and not even give you time to mourn. Everything's paperwork and rules and shit, and it's just disgusting. Um, we got to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to. We got to read the law. We need to start reading legislation, everybody, because I'm telling you what, they're passing stuff that we don't realize that it's being passed in that way, and we don't realize how it's going to affect us until it's already affecting us, and it's already too late, and there's nothing we can do to change it. That's what they're doing with the Alltech, the like, if you need care and you're under 65 or over 65 and you don't have money to pay for a private caregiver, you're going to have to sign your stuff away basically to the state and to the government in order to get care. And it's not even what I would call adequate. It's not even humane the way that they handle the end of life in this country. It's absolutely atrocious in my opinion. It should be illegal. I bet you in other countries they don't handle it this way. There's nothing peaceful about it. I feel like they just let you handle stuff that family members don't want to handle because they don't want to handle those things. You know.
I got to say a lot on that though, because there is places that really do take really good care of people at the end of life care.
Yeah, if you pay for it.
I don't know though, because everyone that I ever worked for is nonprofit, and everybody in the United States, it still is. And I checked. I promise I checked. Everybody in the United States has a right to hospice, even prisoners, even people with no money at all.
Hospice isn't good anymore. It's not.
But it's still the same. I talk to people. No, nothing's changed.
What they do is different.
What happened was you got really bad people.
Dude, it's like this. Everybody told me that theirs was the same way as mine was.
I don't know. The reason why it's a subject for me is because I worked for hospice for 25 years.
Your patients weren't they? Some of them had money, didn't they?
Some of them were poor on the side of the street that we went to take care of. Some of them we brought in to have them housed. Some of them we sent to Disneyland just because that was their last wish. And when you're on hospice, you can have anything you want. Like there was a way, and we found it. And so like, it's hard for me to see those people that didn't do shit for you guys when I know that we would do everything.
Every person I like, it's happening. This is how it is now. It's changed. Things have changed a lot, dude, in this world. The way everything is, the way it works, it's changed a lot. And they keep changing legislation. And did you guys know that there was a law passed in 1951? It's called the Invention Secrecy Law. Or maybe it was in 1952. But look it up. It's called the Invention Secrecy Act. So if somebody has an idea in this country, whether they are a citizen or not a citizen, whether they work for the government or whether you're a regular person, if you have an idea that is regarding certain things that the government feels like they should be able to have a say-so about it because they feel it messes with like national security, they can put they can classify your patent and your stuff, and they can block it, but they can take that shit and use it though. But you're not allowed to use it, and you can't tell anybody about it either. So can you imagine how many inventions that we don't know about that have come across that could have been beneficial to other people, beneficial to the way that we do things, beneficial for our health, beneficial for all kinds of stuff, not having to burn fossil fuel or whatever. There's been like so many inventions that they have put, I think it's like over 6,000 that they have put a thing on. So it's can't be shared, right? And the categories that they do this is insane. Like one of them is geodesy and mapping. So if you have an idea about a way that you could possibly verify the shape of the Earth, anything about the gravity, anything about mapping things or whatever, they can shut you up and take it, and you can't do anything about it. Why would that threaten national security?
Because they don't want you to know anything. They want to keep us sick and dumb.
Right. They just don't want you to know anything. And that's like, we deserve to know. We deserve to know everything we want to know because we all came into this world through the same, well, not the same, but different.
Do you hear that motorcycle, Enzo?
Oh, yes. I heard it quite clear.
It's really loud.
She's close to the road.
And that's the stinking ass neighbor, though.
Stinking ass neighbor.
I am.
Yeah.
I want to kick some ass for real. I'm
fired up.
I'm like, if I am reincarnated, I'm going to remember everything, and I am going to take these people down from the inside using their own weapon. So they better watch out. So taking them down.
I did Google it real fast, and you are correct. The Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 requires the government to impose secrecy orders on certain patent applications that contain sensitive information, thereby restricting disclosure of the invention and withholding the grant of a patent.
Yippers. So are we really, in fact, in a free country if our ideas aren't even free to be expressed?
We're not in a free country because we've been made to believe that we have to pay for water and air and electricity when it can be brought forth from everything around us. Like, it's natural. We shouldn't even have to pay for it.
Right.
No, it's not a free country because they're feeding us stuff to make us sick so that we'll take drugs that we can pay for that will make them richer.
Right.
So no, we're not. It's not a free country. This is kind of bad that it's all going to come to light what's been happening, and the people that don't see it and still don't see it are choosing not to see it, and that's fine too. It's not for me, but I guess it's fine for them.
I just want to know, like, all these politicians, they're talking about, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. How about first, let's go backwards and fix all the laws that you guys already freaking wrote that are fucked up. Let's do that first. Let's go fix the laws that are already enacted that are currently making our current scenario. Before we start talking about what we're going to do in the future, let's fix this shit first.
Right, because when do they ever do one of those damn things that they say that they're going to freaking do?
Right, they don't. And there's no way that they even read all the legislation that's introduced every day.
Yeah, they slip
There's
shit
no
in
way
there
they read it.
that people don't even read. They slip shit in there that people are agreeing to. That's just practically
like,
horrible.
I honestly want to know what AI system they use to actually read all their stuff, because there's no way they can possibly be reading all of that. There's no way.
They don't.
Especially because they're all like 10 years old. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Enzo?
I was just glancing over this Invention Secrecy Act. It looks like and this is because they use weasel like words and stuff like that in how it's written, but it seems like the initial intent of it is, say, I came up with a new invention. It's a brand new death ray that can blow a hole through the moon from my backyard. They're going to restrict that basically, but it's okay for the military to have it. They just don't want me to have it so I can sell it to someone else's military.
Exactly.
Basically what it is. But it's okay.
But also, if you happen to come up with a ray of sunshine that makes everybody happy and it's free,
well, they
also don't want that
too,
because they can't have war if everybody's happy. So they're gonna confiscate that as well.
I always think back to those guys that make the discovery of like the 300 mile per gallon carburetor and the car that runs on water and all of that stuff, and how they mysteriously disappear or have an unfateful end quickly after that discovery.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I would be afraid to even have an idea.
I wouldn't tell anybody shit.
I know.
Everybody's a freaking...
I wouldn't either. I would just tell my friends and family, and then we just.
I would do the same thing. I mean, I might get pulled over, and they're like, "How the hell are you having a levitating vehicle driving down the street with no sense of propulsion or gas?" It's like, what? I just made it myself. What's the problem?
Are you feeling okay? I think you're seeing.
I know, Officer Beer. Have you had? That'd be funny. That'd be so cool to be that smart, to like do something all down low like that, and then just like nonchalant, be using your like.
You're just driving along, and it's just your vehicle's just like barely touching the tires are just barely touching the ground,
cool.
So you can steer, and that would be kind of it.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so awesome. See, they should make movies with funny things in it like that.
They should.
I'm like, I don't know why they're having trouble coming up with movie ideas. Just that Colburn Bible. That seems like that'd be an interesting movie.
I didn't know what the heck that was, the Colburn Bible.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I looked it up, and it still doesn't really say what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Batmom knows. Hey, Batmom, have you heard of the Colburn Bible? Or Enzo, have you heard of it? You said
No, that's from the guy from the video you were playing earlier, right?
No, that was something different.
No, that guy was.
Okay.
I don't know. That guy was trying to give a lot of info.
He's pretty smart. He's pretty wise. He's just a guy, though, like us, just a guy.
We're all just guys, but we're all pretty darn smart people.
We are.
People are actually really, I think, very intelligent, and I'm pretty sure that we've always been pretty intelligent, probably.
So Batman says it's come to light. People are too tired and bogged down with stress to fix anything.
I agree.
And you know what? They don't have to fix anything. All we need people to do is open their eyes and admit that something is happening.
They also don't need to be too tired and bogged down with stress.
Right. They shouldn't even be.
Right.
And you know what? The kicker here is that the sooner everybody awakens to what's happening, they won't have to be bogged down and stressed out anymore.
Well, everybody's stressed because they think that they have to do all these things that this world has told them that they have to do, or else they're going to go to jail, or they're going to be fined, or they're going to be this, or they're going to be that, and nobody wants to do any of that shit.
Because they believe everything that they get told. I mean, I don't know, dude.
I think people are tired and bogged down, and they don't know how to fix it. How can this system is charged?
I feel like part of that too is a lot of people are kind of waking up to a few things, realizing that their trusted nightly news is not have their best interest in heart, kind of a thing. That they've been kind of telling them lies for quite some time now, and mostly because of like social media, your Twitters and your Facebook and all that stuff. Even though they try and restrict it, the truth kind of still, squeaks out there, and people are kind of discovering on their own that they don't need, the talking head on TV to tell them what reality is. There's plenty of other sources that are way more accurate and almost instantaneous. And
it's so weird that they don't realize we know that, though, don't you think? Like, why do they keep trying to?
I know.
I think they have to know it. I don't know.
It's I feel like because basically it's like, whoever's pulling those levers of power is still working under a pre-internet type of game plan. We'll just get all the news agencies to run this specific story with this type of plan, and everybody will run with that, and everybody will believe it, and the sheep will go about their daily business thinking everything's fine. And every time one of those stories comes out where they're all saying the exact same thing, everybody's like, oh, no, we ain't buying that crap. Not again. Right. And usually within an hour on social media, they have flipped the entire narrative to where we can actually prove everything you just said is a lie. Here's what really is happening. I feel as a society, we are certainly turning a corner with that level of foolishness. A lot of people are really getting tired of getting lied to.
Yeah.
Right. And like people, like I agree with you, Batmom. People just need to get together, and people need to remember too that we're all a lot more alike than we realize. And so when they are trying to they're trying to get us to be mad at each other by putting all these false things on TV, and just remember that we're the ones that are fighting, right? They're the ones that are putting out the narrative when they're not doing anything. They're not coming to their lives aren't on the line. They're not in danger. We are. And like regular people can do a lot. They can do we can accomplish anything if you just have people that work together, they can do anything. So everybody I feel like something weird's going to happen in the world, and they're betting on
everybody freaking out.
Fighting. They're betting on us hurting each other, I think. And I just want everybody to remember that we have to not do what they want us to do.
Yes.
Let's let them try to pull their stuff and let it happen in a way that they don't expect. And let's all stick together and just love each other, man.
Don't fall into their trap, and understand that it is all planned, what they're showing us and what they want us to think is happening. And just sit back and watch it like it's a movie, because really it doesn't have anything to do with you, and it's all planned, and it's not even real. And just watch it all play itself out.
I feel a lot of people are watching that and realizing it's a movie, and they're just turning it off because they
Right.
don't want to watch it anymore. It's like,
True. Some people are just, I hardly ever watch the news too.
Yeah, they're like, I want to go fishing, man.
Screw this. I'm going to watch
or I want to
something
go
marathon.
do what my interest is or whatever.
Netflix and chill.
You know, it's really good that people are getting into like stuff that they like doing. So that will keep people maybe away from
let
all
them. That's a very good one. I like to teach that too. I love to teach that, Mom. Like, no matter what, if somebody or anything is, you feel like something's, just let them.
Yeah, let them.
Just let them. And you do you. You just let them.
Yeah.
It is one of those kind of like one of those free speech kind of absolutist kind of things. It's like, let them say whatever they want. They're the ones painting themselves in the bad light. Let them show everybody what they are. You know?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Just let them.
They'll
hang themselves with their own rope.
As long as they don't be putting us in danger, which I mean, they are, I guess, but I don't know.
That's usually where it ends up, and I feel that's important too, because again, they're self-identifying. They are the problem. That they're the ones that are going to go straight to violence versus having a conversation.
Right.
So what age, I don't know why I think in this terms, but what age group do you think is really ruling the world right now? Do you think it's because I mean, look at the age of the people that were running for president. Come on.
People older than us, for sure. Because again, that reflects back on that no concept that the rest of us are just picking up our phones and going, oh, well, that's not true. You know, as soon as something comes out. So they have no visibility on that because that's not their thing. So it's certainly, you know, the classical, you know, old codgers in the darkened room, smoky filled room kind of a thing. It's like that may not be that far off.
Right. So what do you think about, there's a movie, I don't know if it's about, so it was a preview when I went to see the Planet of the Apes movie, but it's a movie and it looks like it's about how the moon landing was faked, but I don't know if it's a movie about that and it's supposed to be a real, about a true story, or if it's like a movie that's like poking fun at like what if they did that? Do you happen to know about the movie that I'm talking about?
No.
They made a movie already about it.
There's been a few movies out there. Do you remember Capricorn 1, where it was supposed to be the first men to go to Mars and they faked the whole thing because the ship that they had didn't work and they knew it didn't work. So right before it's ready to launch, they pull all the astronauts out and hide them away and have them fake like a couple of, they made a sound stage with their little craft and they're walking on Mars and then they come back.
That's what this sounds like. Is that this? When did that come out?
Like late 70s, I think. It was called Capricorn 1. It was
wow.
I wonder if
it was Josh Brolin and actually O.J. Simpson was in it. He was one of the astronauts.
Oh shit.
Really? I wonder if it's a remake of that, because it sounds like, because there was it was showing like how they had a sound stage and everything. Huh. I wonder if it's a remake of that then.
Where the problem in the story of Capricorn 1 comes in is basically they pull the astronauts out of the ship. They still launch the ship. It still goes to Mars and circles around Mars, but there were no astronauts on it. And then it comes back and it was all on autopilot. They didn't have to have anybody on board. And then they had the actual astronauts on this fake sound stage pretending like they were on Mars, and they were angry because they didn't know either. They were ready to launch. They thought
it might have happened though, for real.
where the problem comes in is when the ship comes back, there was an accident of some type as it was coming through the atmosphere, and it burned up in the atmosphere. It was destroyed. Now
Oh
you've got
no.
3 live astronauts that weren't on a ship that you just told the whole world that they were. So they realize they're going to kill us. So they go on the run. They're like running through the desert and all this other stuff. They split up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
Huh. I bet you it's a remake of that. I bet it is. Because I didn't see the part, but it sounds like that's like pretty much the preview, except for that last part. So I'm gonna have to look that up. I can't remember. I want to say Scarlett Johansson's in it, but I think I'm saying the wrong person. Let me see if I can find it. What it's called? Fly Me to the Moon is what it's called, actually.
Fly Me to the Moon.
It is Scarlett.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. It is more than just a historical comedy drama. It's That's weird. I wonder if it still sounds like what you said, so maybe they're just calling it something different. But it is Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. Yeah. That's interesting.
I like Channing Tatum.
Everybody likes Channing Tatum, I'm pretty sure.
And everyone I know likes Scarlett Johansson. So
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep. That's for sure. So Enzo, I found I think I sent you guys a link to a Google Earth thing I found where there was some petroglyphs on there. I thought maybe, because you have that book that you got when you were in Arizona.
yeah.
Have you looked at that book at all since you got back?
I am flooded in books. As a matter of fact, I just bought a book that I'm going to start reading right away. That, but the answer to your question is no. I haven't really thumbed through it as much as I would have liked. I always kind of felt that was going to be more of a field guide study kind of a thing, but
oh, absolutely. Well, then you better get back out in the field there, buddy, and head back to Arizona.
Actually, that's kind of what this is called. This is called turn that off. Nightcrawler Eye in the Sky. You can see this RV in there. This is about two brothers that are engineers a couple years ago, where they thought they knew the best way to track UFOs. They lived in Long Island, and basically they designed this old RV. So, stop me if this sounds familiar, like my van. And they've got actually this little bit that's on top of there is like an actual radar system for like a boat and stuff like that. A lot of infrared type of camera systems and things like that, where maybe maybe these things are out there all the time, we just can't see them. And as it turns out, some of their stuff was kind of affected. They were finding, because they lived in Long Island, New York, which is right on the ocean, of course, island. And they would take this RV trucking up and down the coastline and just looking out over the ocean. And they were seeing these large triangular type craft way out over the ocean moving around that you could not see with the naked eye. These people were like super nerdy engineer guys. They made their own radar system to bounce signals off of whatever it was they were picking up. And it was something solid. There was something there in the sky, out over the ocean, like a couple miles out, and all of that.
Right.
And they started working with the Galileo project, which is a civilian UFO search kind of endeavor. Started working with them, and they were kind of getting positive results. And these guys are engineers because they did not hold back on the tech specs. Because I actually there was that UFO podcast had them on for an interview. That's how I learned about them. And I immediately bought the book after watching the interview, because I found it amazing, because I want my van to have all of those same toys.
Yeah. So they modified to somehow or something to pick up on. That's cool. That's probably
and what was strange was they did say, well, there was one that was really close to the shore, like well, like less than a half a mile. It was like really close. Usually they were like a couple miles out at minimum, usually a little further out over the ocean from the coast. But there was one, it was like, well, it was laid less than a half mile. It was like really close to the shore. So, and they're engineers because they use the technical names for everything instead of the simple names like you or I would use. Like, yeah, so we took our infrared designator and we just kind of pointed at it. It's an infrared laser is what they were using. And they basically pointed this laser at it. And it started moving actually a little closer to the shore. And they had like some type of infrared night vision kind of goggle technology, some of it homemade, some of it not. And the brother that had like the better set had a better view of what was going on with this triangle thing. It shined he said it shined a square like spotlight on the water. And then from the bottom of it, and then it swept up towards the shore where they were. And when it shined on him where he was standing, his legs started turning numb. He couldn't stand up anymore. He like went down to his knees, and he's like yelling at his brother. He's like, I can't move my legs. We got to get the F out of here right now. So his brother like runs over and like grabs him because he's like trying to crawl through the sand there on the beach. Like, we got to get the hell out of here right now. This thing is, I don't know what it is, but we got to go. And his brother like picks him up and starts dragging him through the sand, and his legs are all numb and just kind of lifeless. And then his brother's legs started getting numb, and he started to fall down. And there was a third engineer, physicist lady she stayed in the RV monitoring all the equipment. And she starts running out there like, don't come over here. We don't want you to get caught up in this same thing. But the brothers ended up having to kind of like bear crawl in through the sand to get out of this little zone of whatever this was. And once they did, the feeling came back to their legs. They got back to normal, and they got up and ran the fuck out of there. They all went to the RV and took off. So they
makes sense to me though.
They never alluded to. It's like I don't know if they're from outer space or another dimension or where they're from.
Could have been spies from another country.
I don't know. They don't know. But they can only, again, they were these pure scientist engineer types are like, this is what we saw. This is what happened. Right. That's all I know. I'm not going to, guess that they were from Alpha Centauri or any of that other stuff. So
I think there's stuff like that probably that you don't see.
I'm really looking forward to digging into this.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward. I want to go exploring with you, Enzo, when you get your van all hooked up.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be so hooked up that you're going to catch something. You're going to catch something because you're going to have it hooked up. There's no way you won't do something.
Well, even if
there's actually a van 7 miles away from you. I could go buy it right now. Well, tomorrow. But it's yellow. I'm not yeah. It's a
that's awesome.
It's actually, is it Hertz rental cars? All their moving van type vehicles are all painted yellow, and they're so it's one of their older sets. It's like a 2020 version with like, it still has less than 100,000 miles on it, but it's in my price range. And if it wasn't bright yellow over the entire thing, I would certainly buy it. But I ain't driving no yellow van.
What if they knocked a couple thousand off and you could paint it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the only way. I would certainly have to paint it because part of my whole thing with the van is to kind of be nondescript. I don't want people going like, what the hell's that van?
Right. They're going to know a yellow van.
It kind of stands out.
As possible, like keep people away.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know. Remember back in the day when you could take your car to Mako and you could get it painted for $500?
I don't actually remember that because I've never done that. My dad paints cars. I have my brother, so I've never had to have a car painted. I never had to take my car anywhere to get my oil changed until I was like 40.
I never had to have my car painted too. How did I know that piece of information? Oh, I know why. Never mind. I know why.
the newer thing nowadays is to get a wrap done, where they have.
Oh yeah.
If you've ever seen any of those vans with the wacky graphics and stuff like that on
You
them,
can get paid for that
That's
too.
what Kiki
If you
wants.
wrap
She
your
wants to get her
car,
wrapped.
they'll
you
pay
can
you.
get.
Paid for that.
You can have that wrap can have anything. We could take a snapshot of this picture of the three of us and have that be the outside of the van.
Cool.
That'd be a cool thing.
No, that's a good idea for like my business. Maybe put Awakening Hearts something somewhere.
You should.
Wrap it up.
If not, you could at least get a magnet
That's
for
true.
your door.
I could do that easily, huh?
Yeah. You should.
They do
You should
make
totally do that.
partial. I'm pretty sure they make partial ones with high resolution picture or whatever to make it larger, so it would take up a chunk of the vehicle rather than the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I don't think I would do it for what I'll be using the van for, because if I end up going down some country road where branches are scraping along the side of the van, it's just going to rip it off. But then you're going to have
right.
this cool looking outside with chunks of blaze yellow sticking out.
Well, it'll have scratch marks. It'll be like,
I know,
you could tell a story about it. You can make up a story.
You should get it painted black with like
The
stars.
Sasquatch almost got me.
Yeah. See, there you go.
With like claw marks.
You narrowly escaped.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
That would be hella cool.
Yeah, we've got to do some more tripping.
Yeah, I feel like we should hang out with Enzo again.
We should go somewhere cool, like a painted desert.
Where's somewhere better
Sounds
cool?
pretty
Way
cool.
cooler
I'd
than
love to
that.
see that.
It's not that. That's like, okay, so that's 1 hour.
How about
Then what are you going to do?
How about 1 hour? The Narrow. I want to go to Zion National Park.
I want to
To a
go
place called the
to.
Narrows.
Oh, how about where the big trees are, the Sequoia National Forest? Could go camping.
Sequoia.
Yeah,
That'd be
sequoias. Are
I
they called
mean,
sequoias?
the redwoods?
Sequoia?
Aren't the redwoods the big trees?
So are the sequoias.
I
Those
don't know.
in California. Yeah.
They're both
Where is the sequoias?
in California too, like the north.
What's the big trees? The redwoods, right?
Red. Are they called redwoods or sequoias?
I think one is a species of the other. I think redwood is all of them. Like all of those big trees are redwoods, but a sequoia is a specific type of redwood. I think.
That's giant, and they're giant. I want to
Like
see
how
those
big
big
is big?
trees.
Like how big is big? Do we know?
Yeah, how big is big? Okay, let's look it up. That's it.
They used to have one for the longest time. I remember as a kid seeing a zillion pictures of it on old Disney specials where they cut the middle of it out and you could drive your car through it.
I drove through.
Oh, you could drive your car through the tree?
Like a
Pretty
tunnel.
big tree.
In a,
Yeah,
in a
I went
mountain.
there.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of giant trees at one time. I'm pretty sure there was giant trees because there's a lot of giant tree stumps that are now like rock. They look like mountains, but they look like bark mountains though.
Oh yeah, I've been there to the Sequoia National Forest. I should go again because I was too little and I didn't pay attention. But I want to go again.
I haven't been there.
So
Oh, those are big.
yeah, let's see how tall they
Yeah.
are. How tall are these
Huh.
bad boys?
That's crazy.
I know
There's all
on
kinds
the
of
way to
weird-
like from
Have you
where
ever
I
heard
live
of-
to where you guys are. I know I passed by the Petrified Forest Park. I know
Oh, did you?
that's on my list of
yeah.
things to check out while out driving around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too. There's a place in France called Fontainebleau. Have you heard of it? I guess.
Oh.
I don't know.
How
Pretty
tall
famous. But
are
the
sequoia
forest
trees?
there has all these rock formations that look like animals, and it's so weird
Oh,
because they
you were
really
talking
look
about-
like animals a lot. Like if you Google
Damn.
it, Fontainebleau Forest.
So they're between 250 and 300 feet tall.
Wow, that's tall.
The tallest one was 325 feet high.
Huh.
So while their height is impressive, the real wonder of the giant sequoia
94
lies in its bulk.
Wow, that is huge.
Many of these giants have a diameters in excess of 30 feet near the ground, with a corresponding circumference of 94 feet. Okay, so
Wow.
Pull
30
up my
feet.
share
Oh,
while you're
I'm
reading
trying to
that.
do
I'll provide pictures.
okay, great. Oh,
Look at
is
that.
that it?
Oh my gosh, that gives you a perspective with that person right there.
Right. Look at how
Wow.
big that shit is.
Dude, I've never seen a tree like that before. That is insane.
It says here, is a sequoia bigger than a redwood?
That is huge.
The redwood is the
You
world's
could
tallest
totally
tree.
live in the tree. Like that's
Oh,
a home
shit.
tree.
Jara, sequoia is 3 times bigger than a redwood.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! The iconic
Wow.
sequoia tunnel tree brought down by California storm back in 2017.
Oh no.
Oh, damn.
That's probably because they cut a hole in it to drive it.
It does have a big ass hole in it. Oh no, there it is on the ground.
right. Oh, how sad.
Wow. Could you imagine how that sounded when it fell?
Right.
Look at this old picture. This is a stereoscope
Wow.
picture where this is the same thing. Remember the old Viewmaster little slidey thing? That's what these kind of pictures were. Where it was a stereogram.
Oh,
And
Right.
you can see a person on a horse inside of there, and it's still way over her head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn. That's
Huh.
pretty big.
That's crazy.
1899 is what it says on there.
Wow. 1899, huh? Look at that. Right before destruction hit. Just
Well, in 2017.
Are they called before?
That would be. I mean, I would just go in the middle and like look for the center where the rings are and start counting rings.
Right.
How
I
old
know,
is this thing?
I wonder if it's hollow. Like if you look up, like could you see up into it? You know what I mean? Or if they just
I would
carved out that-
imagine, unless they like lacquered it or something after cutting this out, which I can't even understand why they cut this out. That's kind of just ridiculous. But unless they lacquered or the outside, the outside of it after cutting this tunnel, bugs and stuff like that would start eating away at the whole inside of this, and it would all rot out. So I don't know.
That's what I would think. You think it'd fall out, huh? And then the tree would fall over because it'd be all.
I just want to stand in the middle of them and look up. That's what I want to see.
It's so weird that they cut it out like that.
So that's on my
I
bucket
wonder
list.
what that tree looked like under the ground, yo.
This
You know
little
what I mean?
kid.
Like it's
Doesn't that look like a Bigfoot feet?
yes, it looks like some
It
kind
does.
of
Stepping on this little kid.
How funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That does look like feet or something.
Doesn't look like legs.
How weird. Huh. We live in an interesting place, everyone. Look at that. How weird is that? That looks so weird.
Oh, wow.
Why does it look like that? It looks like a
Bonsai tree, but big.
a castle tree or something. It's all like pointy at like you know what I mean? It looks
Isn't
like
that amazing?
You see the standard split log fence way down here at the bottom, the left.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
See how
yeah.
little it is?
yeah.
Yeah. And they're way back behind it. There's some kind of little structure back there. This is just
can't even imagine a tree like
monstrous.
that. I can't even imagine that. Wow. Wow. We're tiny. We're so tiny.
We're like fleas.
We're like little tiny fleas that are super annoying and we like have weapons. It's so dumb. I'm just not, I don't know. I feel like I'm so impressed with humanity and also at the same time so very
Disgusting.
disappointed.
Yeah, right. It's a love hate.
Like the
300.
humanity that I see around me and people that I know is awesome.
Oh, look at that. I want to. Ooh.
Oh, look
That's
at
my
that.
bucket list.
Cool.
That's what I want to do. I want to hug a sequoia.
Oh, it feels so ancient, doesn't it?
It
I
really
wonder.
does. I mean, it really does look old because it
Yeah.
doesn't look like what you would think of like a giant pine like that, where it's got like the little segmented pieces of bark on the outside. It
Right.
doesn't really look like
Right. It's all smooth, like it's like a creature or something.
that.
It's really
does
cool.
look
I
like
think
some-
it's the coolest thing. I want to see them so bad.
It's weird, like how their footing too on the bottom is different than like other trees.
Doesn't it look like a
Usually you
foot?
can see like the root going into the ground.
I
It's
know
not
that
just
is
sitting on
strange
top
how
of
it's all rounded off like that.
That's
I love this picture
Yeah.
just because it's misty as it goes further back into the woods and
Ooh,
stuff, giving it
ooh.
giving it that kind of mystical thing. I don't know what's going on with this tree on the left with all the greenery growing on
Ooh,
it.
that's a
Oh my
massive
gosh, you
tree.
know that trees like that have to have an immense network of because they use fungus, mushrooms, and stuff to communicate. It's like a neural network underneath the ground in the forest.
What's going on with I'm trying to zoom in, it's not letting me, but this tree here, how there's a ring of green, then a ring of green, and a ring of green, like every 10 or 12 inches there's
Rings.
whatever. What is all that?
I wonder.
It's kind of weird.
So it says here that the giant sequoia trees are one of the longest lived tree species in the world, some of them known to be over 3,000 years old.
Wow. That's
How many years?
3,000.
Wow. So when this tree that this person is hugging was just a little sprout growing out of the ground, it was
Jesus
before
was
like Play-Doh in Greece and things like that.
Yep. It was before Jesus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was before Jesus.
Yeah, well, but 1,000 years before that.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Huh.
So Douglas firs lived 1,000 years. Did you know that?
Really?
I didn't know that.
Huh. Wow, that is insane.
That's pretty cool. So trees are very powerful. I think we don't give trees enough credit, man.
I love trees. Trees are amazing, and they like people too. I think trees are alive, and I think that they are
alive
of humanity. I think that trees
they are aware. I believe everything is sentient, like trees like that. Yeah, definitely.
I love trees, and I really feel like when you talk to trees and plants, I think they move. They do.
They hear you. I think they're beings. I think they're live. They're creatures of God. They're creation of God too, just like us.
Yeah, I think that we need to remember that just because something can't communicate with us the way that
doesn't mean it doesn't communicate to
that's it.
Something.
Understand us,
right?
It's aware.
I think that the trees are the messengers of the earth. They tell other plants what to do in the earth and shit, dude. I think that it's important.
I do too.
I think there's so much shit we don't know and don't think about.
I think so too. Like I think trees record stuff, and I think.
Oh fuck yeah! They're like They're like recorders of the earth, the history. Now they're the ones that probably won't lie.
Right? Trees never lie.
Trees never lie.
Huh?
I was just amazed at this picture of these little kids. Look at how monstrous that tree is.
I want to hug one of those trees really bad now.
That's a tree you can't even climb because it's so big.
I don't know. Maybe you could climb it better.
You could maybe, I don't know.
Probably need oxygen by the time you got halfway up.
It'd be all cold up there. That's crazy. I saw a thundercloud today, that was growing at a really high altitude. I've never seen a cloud that high before. Usually it gets sheared off by the wind by then when it gets that tall, but it wasn't. It was just like
shit. Did you know sequoia trees? Oh, sorry, my bad. Keep going.
Oh no, go ahead.
No,
Ooh,
go
what
ahead.
is that?
It's
he looks like he's
Ooh, what is that?
What is that?
Tunnel rock.
What was the lightning doing? Was it close? Was it today, the lightning? Because there was a bad lightning yesterday.
No, that wasn't lightning. It was it was how tall the clouds were.
Oh.
Like I've never seen them be that high. What is that?
It's a rock. Or a head.
Like a head of something.
Of an animal.
It looks like, well, if you look at that Fontaine blue forest, those animals look like super totally like animals, like giant snakeheads and jaguars and all kinds of weird stuff in that forest. That is interesting. It looks like a snakehead or something.
It looks like a head.
I find these like gouges out of here kind of odd.
Right? And I find that a slit that looks oddly like an eye slit. Right where an eye slit goes.
Gouges could be cuneiform. If they were.
No, the slit up here. Oh, like you can see where my finger's pointing.
Yeah. Where at? Right here?
Right there. Yeah.
I always do that.
He read my mind anyways. Did you know that sequoia trees possess a truly impressive adaptation to their fire-prone habitats? Their fire-resistant bark.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a bark with a spongy
It
texture.
looks like it would be fire resistant.
Mm-hmm.
Is
What kind of monster lizard is that?
More a rock.
oh, I don't know. I just clicked off.
That wasn't a rock. That was a tree stump.
Oh.
What's going on here? Firefighters use wooden supports to climb higher around the base of the German Sherman tree and wrap protective foil around the tree's lower 10 to 15 feet. This material, also used to protect buildings, minimize the likelihood that it would ignite exposed areas like old fire scars. Huh. That's weird. Which one of these type of trees, it may not be specifically the sequoias, they have pine cones, but they're really big, and they only spring open and spread the seeds during fires. So they're
yeah.
like,
I know about that. We know about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I think that goes for a lot of pine cones.
They're meant to.
Yeah.
Did you know that pine cones actually absorb sound?
Oh, do they?
Sound?
Pine cone particles absorb sound, and so yeah, and something the pine needles do something with sound too. There's something about pine trees that I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't looked it up, but I heard that there's something about pine trees that, like, the military have used it around certain bases because they block certain signals or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but interesting.
Whoa, what time is it? It's okay, so it's 10:14, guys. I think we should wrap it on up.
Get going because I gotta drive home.
We're gonna have another show next Thursday, Jara?
Yes.
Cool. So we will keep you guys updated on our belly dancing class because we're loving it, every moment of it.
Yes.
When are we going to get a live demonstration of the belly dancing?
Soon, maybe we'll record one, Jara. We're gonna have to put it together and record it for you guys because we are the shit.
Well, he said live. He wants
live.
Yeah.
I know we have to edit it. We have to edit it.
Batmom says white pine needles are medicinal. What do they do for you?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Pine needles are very medicinal. You can make them into a tea.
I didn't know. Wait, I didn't know there was a such thing as a white pine needle. That's cool. Like it's white, like.
I don't know. Just from the white pine.
Oh, that would probably make more sense.
Yeah.
Yep, that would probably make more sense because most plants are green because they use what's that thing called photosynthesis.
Chlorophyll. What is it called? All right, so let's see. Anything else? You got anything else going on? Anybody want to say anything else?
I don't know. I thought, Susie, we're going through crazy times right now. Do you have any good advice for folks out there to weather the storm?
I do. The good advice I have is to number one, don't be an asshole. Number two, just be kind and loving to each other. And you know what? Just stay in the now moment and worry about what's inside your four walls and inside your little world, because whatever they're doing, it doesn't even concern us anymore. They're doing their own weird thing. Just keep to yours, just know what's going around you. Make your world a better place. So everything only has the definition you give it. So make your world however you want. And that's it. Just be kind to each other, right, Jara? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then let's also all just not pay our taxes at the same time.
Let's nobody pay taxes. That way nobody will go to jail.
Right. But
taxation is theft. Sure.
See, it is. So so that's my advice.
Yep.
I had another advice too, but it slipped out. It's gone. It was there. It's gone.
Well, I totally agree with you, and certainly keep your stuff at home square first before being concerned about what other wackiness is going on in the world. Make sure your stuff's tight first.
You know what? We all have to know what we believe in and know what we don't believe in too. Use your good discernment, and because nothing's really as it seems. Whatever they're showing you really isn't what it seems like. So just use your discernment.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what you believe, then just stick to the stuff that you know.
Right.
Like, who's in your house right now?
Or
And do you have food? And do you have water? And if you got those things, then that's good.
follow your gut instinct, your intuition and your gut instinct. So there's actually a brain in your heart. There's actually a brain in your stomach. There's actually a brain in your head. So like you got to pay attention to all of those feelings that you get from all of them and go with your gut instinct. Like pay attention to your body, your mind, and your spirit, and it'll lead you. It'll just pay attention to those cues and it'll lead you down the right path.
And everybody remember that you're special. Everybody.
And it's okay to be your authentic self. Always.
Yep. The fact that we were all born means that we did something special to get here, because I'm pretty sure that it wasn't easy to be like get here. I know we don't remember the trip or whatever, but I don't know. This is a pretty complicated place to be. So I'm pretty sure we probably went through some kind of a journey to get here.
And we probably even had like reservations and shit.
Yeah. Yep, we probably did.
Okay. Was that good? That was good. You didn't think you were gonna get a big old bargain of that, did you?
I knew you'd come out with the goods. I knew you'd do it. Because I believe
for joining us. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I thank you, and so I like that.
I do too. I believe in her too.
I believe in you guys. I believe I can fly. Okay. So good night, everybody. Join us next week. Have a great week. Be kind to each other.